Patrick Mahomes was my best pick this year. There's probably a no way in hell I'd draft him in fantasy next year. Is that bombshelly? That's a hot take. So for this week's Fantasy by the People, we are celebrating the end of the regular season in fantasy football by taking a little bit of a look back at your teams that you drafted this year. We asked you, who is your favorite pick, your best pick that you made? It could be an early round hit or your favorite late round sleeper, whatever, I don't care. And we wanted to know if you would draft them again next year. You guys sent in a lot of different responses, and a lot of you are really proud of yourselves, which is good. You should be proud of yourself, but let's get started. This one comes in from @MikePronsky11. Got one of the best gifts in football, which is Travis Kelce. We'll just say a little miff at a call by one of the referees here. But I think Mike here made a great call by drafting Gurley at the number 2 overall spot and selecting Kelce in the 3rd round. Look, tight end has been an absolute dumpster fire this year, so if you went early round tight end with Kelce or Ertz, but definitely not Gronk, then you're pretty happy with the decision that you made. Because of the disastrous nature of the position, we're gonna see Kelce and Ertz be super popular picks once again in 2019. So if you want these guys, you're gonna pay up, but it's probably worth it. This next one comes in from @NukeNeil. Cool. And all they said was Ebron, 5 exclamation points, which is great. You're very excited about Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron really goes to show you that just because a player was bad on one team doesn't mean a change of scenery can't help them. People legit hate Eric Ebron in fantasy football. He's like a curse word in some circles, but the people who really believed in him or just straight up believed in the opportunity with Andrew Luck, they really benefited. I think this guy would definitely draft Eric Ebron again next year, depending on what happens with Jack Doyle. This one comes in from @JoeP_88. They sent a screenshot of their draft, which I can't believe you still kept that. Drafting Aaron Jones and Babytron, who is of course Kenny Galladay, the correct nickname for Babytron, in the 12th and 13th rounds. However, I did draft Le'Veon Bell, so there's that. But this is a great point though here, Joe. Sometimes you make big mistakes early in your draft, but you know how you recover from them? Picking up good late round players. So I commend you for this, Joe. This was a great move by you. Even though you probably held on to Aaron Jones a little too long, it paid off in the end. Good work. Next. This one comes in from @OldManShirt. Nice name. I got some guy named Mahomes with my 15th pick. Worked out okay. He's number 1 in scoring in the league. Would draft again. Yeah, I bet you would draft him again. But you know what the thing is? This is actually an interesting question to ask because Mahomes, of course, was a really popular response. Where do you think he's going to go in next year's draft? He's definitely not going in the 12th round or the 15th round or anything like that. Mahomes is going to be a super popular pick. I bet you he's overpriced because look, there are guys that like Mahomes who come out of the late rounds and become great quarterbacks all the time in fantasy football. So it's a hot debate. As you can tell, I'm already really excited to talk about it. It's December. I can't wait to talk about this in July. I could probably wait. I'd do something else. I don't know. This one comes in from @TheHypocrisy. James Conner in the 11th round, undisputed fantasy pick of the year, ADP wise. Yeah, it sucks that James Conner is going to be injured for this week, maybe next, I don't know. But I mean, he has been one of the best picks in fantasy football and a great example of how you can wait on running back and just stash some great upside picks and occasionally they turn into clear running back ones, which James Conner has. I think next year, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, right? Where would you draft James Conner in 2019? He's probably going to be like a 2nd round pick. Are you paying that price? Good question. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything. Why am I even doing this? Why are we watching this video? Why are you watching this video? And this last one comes in from @MikeReedyFF. And of course, I had to include this one. Tyler Lockett was my best late round sleeper, and I drafted him everywhere. Of course you did. Probably because you've been following me miserably, which I'm sorry about. I know it is a tough experience following me on the internet, for the last 3 years, hyping up Tyler Lockett. And look, it finally happened. And you know why? Because he's a good player who just happened to be healthy and have opportunity in front of him this year. So all the haters can suck it. Tyler Lockett rocks. And of course, the lesson that you learned there is, don't give up on a player just because they burned you before. You can always go back to the well. So that's your smart analysis, and what I said before was just me being a jerk. Thanks for submitting, Mike Reedy. That is going to do it for this week's edition of Fantasy by the People. Make sure you are subscribing to the Yahoo Sports YouTube page where you can get all kinds of great content all off season. We talked about a lot of players we'll be debating going into 2019 fantasy football drafts. Are you excited for next year already? I know that I sure as hell am not. I just want to get rid of this year and watch some playoff football. Enough of this fantasy stuff.